Sir, national education policy is a very important aspect of our country, and it has taken the learning to the learner itself, and learner-centric approach is very much must. How far is this institution, IUST, as a premier institution of Kashmir of academic excellence, implementing the same?
अगर आप देखें, in the country at the national level in 2020, we brought the national education policy. Now, if you look at the national education policy, it came after so many years. If you look at the previous education policy, that was in 1986, then little bit amended in 1992. So there was a big gap. And the need for having a national education policy, as you rightly said, that objective was that the universities need to produce youth, the graduates who are employable, who are skillful,
Absolutely.
who have, who are contributing to the development and growth of the country. They have the skills. That was the basic, principle behind the national education policy. Now, if you look at the larger, जो हमारे national aspirations hai, we want to be the third economic power of the world. We want to be the major science power of the world. हमारे जो aspirations hai nationally, they could not be achieved unless there is a major reform in the education system. That's why the need for the National Education Policy 2020. Now, what does National Education Policy ask to the universities to do? There are a lot of things that they want us to do. And it has to be completed in many years. Maybe we have another 15 years, 20 years to fully implement the National Education Policy. Now, out of all those requirements that all the education institutes are asked to do, IUST chose certain areas where we wanted to
Do it in a faster way.
Do it as a first priority. Now, one was, if you look at the IUST, it is one of the youngest universities in Jammu and Kashmir, established in 2005. It was a teaching university. So we used it to teach, give degrees and all that. So after the implementation of this promulgation of this national education policy, we just decided that we have to be a research university. So both, we will give the education also, and we will do the research also. The other important thing that we decided for ourselves is that let's be leaders in the innovation and skilling. And also, so the programs, we said that if you look at the national education policy, there are priorities. Which are the priority areas of education? So we went into those priority areas. If you look at let's say I will tell you the issues that the society faces, the country faces: disasters, climate change. There is basically a huge, interest in the artificial intelligence, machine learning, biodiversity, medical and health. So these are the areas we decided for ourselves in the first phase. So immediately after this national education policy came into effect in July 2020, so we started rolling out the programs. Suppose for the promotion of the innovation entrepreneurship, we set up a center called SEED, Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development. Now, it is just 4th year. It is in existence. Consistently, we are being ranked as 4-star for promoting an ecosystem of innovations and entrepreneurship in the country. This ranking is given by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. So, similarly, if you look at the skilling, we established a Kalam Academy of Skill Development and Training. And massive skilling courses, almost 31 skill courses we rolled out in association, in cooperation with the National Skill Development Corporation under different skill sector councils. So similarly, if you look at the infrastructure that we put up in the departments, so you will see a lot of skilling infrastructure labs, whether it's the robotics, whether it's the drones, whether it is the the electronics, whether it is the semiconductors, whether it is the optical fiber. So you have so many labs that we started and the courses then. We started a BTech course in automation and robotics.
Wonderful.
We started a course BTech in artificial intelligence and machine learning. We started an undergraduate course in space technology. We started a course in the climate change and sustainability. So many of those areas which the NEP had decided these are priority areas. So we wanted to take a lead. And after 4 years, we can say that we have really, been able to, basically meet some of the requirements, we have been able to implement the NEP 2020 in its true spirit.
Sir, you wonderfully said we have been able to implement, and you also threw light on different aspects. There has been also a grievance in the past times that lack of quality research is lagging in our institutions. Would it suffice for that as well, and now would be more thrust on quality research?
Yes, as I said that this university was a teaching university. So we used to have 6 schools and they will all do the teaching. And there was some research, very small research. I will give you an example of what type of research there was. And since the NEP wanted us to, there is a mechanism, there is a one instrument, there is one, idea that you can become a multidisciplinary education and research university. It is acronymed as MERU. MERU, Multidisciplinary Education and Research University. So we decided that we will be a multidisciplinary education and research institute. I talked about the different multidisciplines that we introduced here. As far as the research is concerned, now since last 2.5 years, we have got major research projects in this university. So as of now, if you see, we have more than 100 research projects going.
Wonderful.
And some of these research projects are very large research projects, like, and addressing certain issues. Suppose we have one project from the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, under PERS. And this is basically, this project is working for finding solutions to the chronic diseases, including cancers in Kashmir.
Wonderful.
And this is a multi-departmental initiative, about 10 crore rupees. Similarly, we have many other initiatives that helped us to promote the research and innovation in the university. This university is the only university in the North India, not in Jammu Kashmir, that can give support. If suppose somebody comes to me, a student, anybody, whether he is my student or he is any part in the North India, or he is educated or formally educated, not formally educated, he has an idea. He has some idea. He thinks that this idea will help me to address some of the societal issues. He comes to us, we evaluate it, and we give him some, seed money. We give him some basic money from 3 lakh to 10 lakh.
I understood you.
Yeah. Now, because the work that we did in terms of innovation and the research, the Government of India, DPIT, the Ministry of Commerce and Trade, Industries, and the Department of Science and Technology gives almost 15 crore rupees to boost the innovations among the youth. So the research, in this university has really jumped significantly. Now, there are certain indicators of research. You have the number of citations, the number of research papers, we call it H index. Now, if you look at it since the last 3-4 years, so it is I would say it is an exponential growth in the, research. And we have made it mandatory for every faculty member to have at least one extramural research project. So he has to write a grant, submit it to different agencies at the national level, at the international level, and you will see many of our faculty in IUST have more than one research projects. So that is the ecosystem for research that we have.
Sir, you have thrown light on a wonderful ecosystem. One more topic related to your acumen is that we are facing disaster in a sense. Our glaciers are melting at a faster pace. You have also time and again thrown light on that. How far will it impact our food security?
देखिए जो अगर आप IUST में देखेंगे the recent initiatives that we took, I said we established a department for climate change, sustainability and environment. We established a center for disaster risk reduction. We established a department for geomatics, but we already have one department called the Department of Food Technology. Now, this food technology, if you look at it, so they are working on different aspects of the, agriculture, horticulture, and all that. Now, directly coming to answer your question, I mean, there is a climate change. Our glaciers are the first, basically, targets. They are directly affected by the changing temperature and precipitation. And we know the agriculture or horticulture or other sectors of our economy are dependent on the waters. So they will be definitely affected. So if you look at the waters that emanate from these, we have about 18,000 glaciers. They melt. So as of now, we don't have a water scarcity in Kashmir. You will not find. But by end of this, by middle of this century, by 2060, so we have projected that we will start facing the water, scarcity here. Some parts of our, Indus Basin, we live in Indus Basin. I mean, our neighboring country is also part of the Indus Basin. They already, if you look at the last 20 years, they already have some sort of water scarcity there. So it is definitely the impact of climate change on glaciers, then the waters, and its impacts on the agriculture and horticulture will be there. It will impact our food security. There is no doubt about that. So in Kashmir, if you look, particularly in Kashmir Valley, so almost 90% of your staple food, rice, is imported from rest of the country. So definitely you will have more and more. See, agriculture is converting into horticulture, and you will have in future you will have, impacts on the food security.
So my last question is that what would be your message to the masses, especially of our region, how serious they should take the aspect of climate change?
Okay, if you look at, unfortunately, we are not caring for the Mother Earth. This Mother Earth has given us
so many things.
Everything. And this mother has 8 billion children. I mean, I always say
growing at a faster pace.
I mean, a mother who has 8 billion children should not be ailing, should not be sick. And one of the reasons, I mean, if you look at this mother, it is running high fever, I say. Its temperature is increasing.
Absolutely.
Last year you had the highest temperature on the, on this earth. So it is because of our own actions. So we are emitting greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide. We burn the fossil fuel. We use energy which comes from burning of the coal and all that. So it emits large quantity of greenhouse gas emissions that increase the temperature. So it is important for us as an individual, as a member of the society, as part of the government, that we really need to, look into this. What is our carbon footprint? What activities of ours are leading to the environmental degradation? It is not only, I always say, it is not only the government. Government has a larger role, definitely, there's no doubt about that. But I as an individual has a role. I as the Vice Chancellor of this university have a role. I as being a member of the community, member of the society has a role. So all of us have a role to care for this Mother Earth. I think when we do that, that could be done through different ways. Reducing our footprint, carbon footprint, reducing the use of fossil fuels, planting the trees. The government has similarly different, roles. I think all of us need to join hands so that we can improve the environmental condition of Mother Earth, and that will have a positive impact on the climate change.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.